Hello, you are on our Visionary Leaders team call. We are coming to you live in November of 2022. My name is Aisha Harley, and we are going to be talking today about holiday gift ideas, DIY ideas, sharing recipes, having fun, opening up the call to conversation and shared wisdom. I am joined by our beautiful team, as well as Dr. Josie Schmidt and Dr. Louise Rose, and they are coming with some really great ideas and knowledge and gift ideas too. So welcome, and we are going to go ahead and get rolling. I just want to remind you, if you want to participate in the chat and share some of your ideas via the chat, or if you do want to come on camera or share anything, please change your chat option to everyone. Otherwise, I think you'll just automatically be set for hosts and panelists, or you can also raise your hand. So we are thrilled to be with you today, and let's talk about the holidays. I'm a big fan of the holidays, and I like gifts. I think they're pretty fun, so I'm excited for this call.
Beautiful. Well, I am a big DIYer, and so I have a lot of ideas. And about this time of year, let me know if anybody can relate to this. I have so many ideas. I'm like, oh, I want to make this. I want to make this. I want to make this. And as time gets closer and closer to gift giving time, things start dropping off the list because you can't do everything. But luckily, it comes around next year. So, I get to add things back on my list that maybe fell off the list last year. So I'm curious what other people have on their gift DIY list. I will say I always make, well, not always, but probably for the last 5 or 6 years, I make a different flavor of chapstick for gift giving. So I get these big cardboard, recyclable push-up chapstick tubes off of Amazon. And then I have my sort of base recipe that I use, which uses shea butter, cocoa butter, and beeswax. And then I just changed the flavors. The first year that I did it, I created what we call the Magi Magic Moisture Stick, which is gold, frankincense, and myrrh. So you can buy edible gold mica, M-I-C-A, powdered dust.
That is so cool, I have to say. I love the name. And Louise and I are going to work on a project together, and I'm like, oh, I want the gold mica in it too.
Yeah.
Keep going. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fun. And then other years I've done like a chai spice flavored chapstick. I did one year a chocolate cardamom. Anyway, it's just, you can kind of do whatever flavors you like. And this year I want to try learning how to add some tinted color so that they're more like a tinted chapstick. So if anybody has any tips on that, I'm open.
Cool. I don't have tips.
I don't have tips. I'm learning, but I'm excited. And there's a question from Virginia. Dr. Rose, would you be able to share some of your recipes? They sound so wonderful. And Marilyn asked that too. Are you sharing the recipes, Louise? So do you have any good recipes for us? And please also share some of your blend ideas. Like, what are your favorite oils? You can type them in the chat or come on. Like, what are some of your favorite diffuser blends that we could also think of? Like, would it be fun to make a chapstick with, or a solid perfume with, or a nice, I saw lip scrub recipe when I was looking into ideas too, where you scrub your lips, like a sugar scrub with some, thought peppermint would be nice. And then you can put on your chapstick. So I think Louise is working on sharing. Do you need to share your screen, Louise?
In just a second.
Okay, let me know if you're able to do that.
Okay. I wanted to give so when we were talking about November and the dialogue here in this podcast on this call, where we really want to be conversing and having people, in Facebook. I don't know, Aria, are you able to go and see what people, if anyone is typing any questions there? So we
I'll
have
check in for
participation
sure.
from the live on Facebook and also here on our Zoom call. And we want to be going over all the topics kind of this season. And so we're hoping through this month, it's about holiday wellness and fun. So today with recipes, swapping, sharing, just talking all the different, I'd like to talk a little bit excited about what doTERRA puts out with their holiday items that we can actually buy, because some of us aren't that DIY-ish, like myself. And then there's also the things we can be making. But the other topics we're going to be exploring as the month goes on is kind of digestive wellness. How do we stay in all of the work we've done, all of that progress, the health the balance that we've achieved? How do we kind of do that while we splurge a little bit through the holidays? How about mental wellness while we're also in the holidays with our old mixes of families and peoples? And and immune wellness, staying healthy on that level. Like, what happens? How do you fortify yourself more as you're going to be traveling or around more people? So that's what we kind of want to be discussing. And if someone has
Ghosts, I wanted to ask you, forgive me, I was looking at our Facebook post, so you might have already covered this, but you covered the emotional wellness too for the holidays, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, so I just
kind of digestive, emotional, and immune, as well as fun, presence, and DIY. So those are all the topics we're kind of focusing on, presence and DIY this week. But hey, it's fluid.
I found my recipe for the Magi moisture stick. So for those people who are not looking at the screen, let me just read it real quick. So you're going to use a double boiler, or what I use is a Pyrex measuring cup inside a pan of water. And for one chapstick, you start with 1 tablespoon of beeswax, and I just buy the little, I think they're little teeny bits, and you can easily measure them. 1 tablespoon shea butter, 2 tablespoons of cocoa butter, and you just melt that until it's all combined, and then you turn the heat off before you add your essential oils, because we know essential oils don't love being heated. So turn off the heat, and then you can stir in your, I use a 1/4 teaspoon of the gold mica powder, or I bet it's called mica, right?
Yeah, it's mica.
I'm thinking of our friend Mika, gold mica powder, and then 10 drops of myrrh, 20 drops of frankincense, and then you just stir and pour it into your container and let it cool. It couldn't be easier, and it's really fun for like a teacher gift or a hostess gift or a stocking gift to have these nice little homemade chopsticks.
And another idea with the chapstick too that just came to me in my artist brain is you can also purchase natural food dyes, so they don't have any nasty chemicals in them. I know that our health food store has them. You can make your own too with beets or with other vegetables that are really cool. But wouldn't it be fun to like make a rose chapstick with a beautiful like rich beet color or a natural food dye if you wanted to have like a little bit more of a fun color added just for a gift idea with that gold would be so gorgeous.
Louise, how much do you know with that recipe? We had a question about how many chapsticks that makes. Is there a...
Yeah, I was just typing that in the chat. That's just for one of the big chopstick tubes. So you can just multiply that by however many you're making. And then I don't think I wrote down the chai recipe, although let's see, I do have a chai blend. Let me look for that. You guys keep talking. I'll look for that recipe.
And then while Louise is looking, we'll kind of we'll go back and forth between DIY and the holiday items that are available. But I just want to let you guys know that we always do it on the third Monday, the A to Z we mentioned, we will be doing Blue Lotus. So that puts us at November 21st. And I had a little Blue Lotus, but I got my big Blue Lotus. It comes in this really pretty box with the gold. And I just want to let you know that it is, I think, an incredibly royal, like regal oil. I was mentioning for some of you that joined later that I actually woke up with a migraine this morning and was like, am I going to be able to be on the call? And I remembered that our Mika said, oh, the Blue Lotus is so good for the brainstem and for the mind, and rub it on the back of the neck. So I rubbed it right on my occiput and right on the back of my neck. And I did a lot of aromatherapy, and I layered that with some past tense and some aroma touch, which was, I'm sitting here with you today. And I had a lot of water too. So I'm just encouraging you, if that interests you, maybe to order yours. I don't know if they'll sell out. A lot of our holiday products do sell out, but it'd be fun if you had it for our A to Z call, so you can experience and smell it if you don't have it already. And then I wanted to talk too about what I do. I just got the Thai. Oh, and we got our golden chai. We'll leave that up while I'm talking. I just got our Thai essential oil blend, and I've had from last year some of the other cooking blends is what I'm speaking of. And so I just want to say these are really wonderful. If you ever want some good recipes, you can just Google on doTERRA's website. They have like amazing, like if you just Googled like the doTERRA Thai cooking blend, often it will pop up and you will get some amazing recipes and ideas for cooking with your oils. One thing that I recommend for the ones that aren't diluted is to use a toothpick to add them to flavor foods and teas and things, so that you don't pour too much in at once, because it can be very strong, of course, and then you can always add more. But I also wanted to mention my little thing that I do with these oils. So all of our cooking oils, we have Italian, we have Mexican, Thai, and tropical. And if you listen to our A to Z calls, and you know the medicinal qualities of these oils, they are phenomenal. So we did our post-convention tour here in Portland this weekend. I was around a lot of people. I could feel from just being really busy, my immune system kind of getting a little tired. And so last night I went and took our Italian blend, which is got olive oil, thyme oil, rosemary oil, basil, marjoram, and oregano. So powerhouse immune oils, right? And I just put some of this in a little veggie cap and took it for an immune support blend. And there's, with our Mexican one, it has cilantro oil in it, and cilantro is absolutely phenomenal. It's right, like oregano and cilantro could be buddies as far as cold and flu season, and clove, how amazing they are. So and I wanted to mention this because I really like the bottles they're in and that they're diluted. So we can do that with our normal oils too. But what's really nice is these are in a base of olive oil, so they're just not as hard on your tummy. And so I found that when I take them, they just feel really good in my belly. Sometimes when I take oregano just in a gel cap, I'll do that too, but it can kind of make me have a spicy belly. So that's another little hack as far as those beautiful cooking blends. And then the Thai one, you guys, if this one was new to me, but I just want to read you the ingredients because it's so beautiful. I want to make some tom kha soup with it. It has got, let me see here, with the fractionated coconut oil base, coriander, I don't know how to say this word, galanga, cumin, lemongrass, spearmint, kaffir lime, ginger root, basil, and pink pepper. And what's so great about that is, like, when we're cooking, maybe sometimes we don't have all of those herbs in our medicine cabinet, or we'll have to go to a specialty store to find some of those. So it's so great to have these on hand too, because then it's like, oh, I've got all those herbs right here. So
I love that, Ari.
Yeah.
Thank you for that inspiration. I mean, it's like a symphony all in one in a bottle, and you have the carrier oil that is going to help it be absorbed at a slower rate, be just as effective, but just absorbed slower for our bodies. And so that's so fantastic for trying it in a gel cap, but I'm thinking you could just be rubbing that on your feet, on your spine. Also, I want to try, I have not thought of that Thai blend, I think would be really yummy, maybe in some oat milk as a beverage. What do you guys?
Oh, you guys smell.
Maybe not, but I want to try it.
That would be gorgeous.
A drop in some bone broth.
And bone broth, there you go. Also,
with a little celery seed. Oh,
which I have downstairs. I'm going to do that after we get off the call.
And our soup stocks, because we're moving, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. If you're listening to this as we're recording it live, you might be listening to it at a different season or in a different location. But here we're moving and transitioning into winter. It's pretty cold here where I'm at and where we are. So it's so great to eat really nourishing, warming foods. And so to add this just as if you're a person, sometimes we get tired of taking a lot of pills, like, does anyone ever feel like that? Like, wow, I love my supplements. They help my life so much, but I do take a lot of them. So that's why I'm really loving our Meta Power. So I can have gum or I can drink some of it. And then also just adding some of this to our food, or like you were saying, rubbing it on our feet, sometimes can just be a beautiful way to deliver the medicine in different forms. And then also you're getting the aromatherapy too. I was thinking, I even want to do the Thai just in my diffuser because it's going to make my stomach rumble. But I was like, these would be fun diffuser blends. I haven't even thought of using them that way. My brain was just thinking cooking and medicine. But right now I'm like, why am I not diffusing them? They're so yummy.
Well, just a little side factoid. We have something called the cephalic phase of digestion, which starts when we start to cook and smell the food cooking. And that tells our body that food is coming. And so it helps us start having digestive enzymes, saliva gets ready. So we're addressing the cephalic phase of digestion when we diffuse these culinary herbs. So you could order takeout. You don't even have to cook. Just diffuse your blend.
I love it. That would be my house. And I also will say that I would love to work on some, because I love bone broth in the morning. I haven't started mine yet, but it's time.
Hi, baby girl.
And so I will share some recipes, and maybe we could all share recipes if we find a good combo or the amounts to add to help people. Yeah. And Louise, let's talk about this golden chai recipe. It looks so yummy.
So I made this recipe a few years ago. So you can make up kind of a big batch of it in a 2-ounce dropper bottle. So you have a like a tincture bottle with a dropper top. And so the recipe is 100 drops of ginger, 50 drops of turmeric, and then a whole 5 ml bottle of black pepper, a whole 5 ml of cardamom, a whole 5 ml of cinnamon, and 5 ml of clove as well. And then you have that in your big bottle, and so you can just add 3 or 5 drops of the blend to your cup of tea with milk, honey, whatever you like to use to sweeten it. You could use it with black tea, some red tea, or something that doesn't have caffeine in it. And then a nice holiday gift would be to make this blend up and mix it into honey and give somebody chai flavored honey that they can just add a spoonful to their cup of tea. You could make your own gift label. Or you can make it for yourself.
A gift for yourself.
Exactly. So these are all wonderful, warming, circulating, great for the digestion oils. And with that turmeric in there, you're getting a nice, and the ginger too is great anti-inflammatory. So it's a wonderful health tonic as well as delicious.
It looks so good. And it's time for all of these beautiful chai blends to help our immune system. And I wanted to say, and this is, thank you for this reminder, Virginia, because I have not done this and I just got my phone out to share it. Virginia says, I was able to download the e-recipe book. And so that's on the doTERRA site. I will share it. Let's see. I think because I'm sure, I don't want to pull it up now because I am presenting, but if you have any trouble finding it, I will post that on our Facebook pages. And if you just type in doTERRA ebook, it pops up. And so those are some really great recipe ideas as well. And Caroline says, I make a healing salve, great for cuts and scrapes, but also for rough skin spots like heels and knees, etc. And definitely those winter hands, right? When things can get cracked or chapped. 0.5 ounces of beeswax, 0.5 ounces of butter of choice. So I'm thinking like a shea butter or something like that, I would imagine. 0.6 ounces of coconut oil, not liquid. 0.5 ounces of jojoba or avocado, and 24 drops of essential oils. I use 4 of each of the following: helichrysum, frank, myrrh, and tea tree, lavender, and copaiba. I buy little tins on Amazon for these. And oh, I love that.
Wonderful.
And that all of those oils would just be so healing and nourishing and soothing and supportive to the skin, and clean out our scrapes too, keeping them clean. And I want to say too that there's a really great printing site that I work with. So if you love art and images like I do, it's called Zazzle, Zazzle. And they have really affordable printing costs, and they have sales all the time. And you can make some really fun labels there. And they have round ones, and they have great graphic designs and beautiful. I just had business cards printed there. They have beautiful botanical options. And so if you wanted to get really fancy, I found some really fun holiday gift tags that I got suckered into buying because I was like, oh, these are so cool. So if you want to do that too, that's fun. Or you can make your own, of course, too.
Marilyn has a suggestion that you could make that recipe and put it into a deodorant stick. And that way you could just rub the salve on your skin where you need it. Or I've also seen some recipes and made this myself to do less spreadable, but maybe more beeswax in it will create a solid lotion bar. So you can pour it in a pretty mold. You can buy these beautiful silicone molds that have these designs, and then they're really easy to pop out of the silicone mold. And it's lotion, but it's solid at room temperature. But then as soon as you put it in your hands, it starts to melt, and you just rub it into whatever body part you need it. And then you could buy a beautiful little tin. That's a really nice gift, really pretty way to do that.
I love that idea too. What a unique idea. It sounds, see, now I might have to turn into a DIYer. I think this is my year because I'm getting so inspired. And we wanted to present these ideas too, because we know that, right now we have a lot of inflation, right? So what's so great is that we might have beautiful oils on hand that we can use or utilize, or maybe there's some stuff we're like, wow, I have this oil, but I don't use it a lot, So I invite you to be playful, start mixing things, see what blends you come up with that you're like, oh, this is really gorgeous. I'm working on a blend right now that I want to create that's more of an earthy smell. So I want to use the guaiac wood and the vetiver, and maybe I'm thinking a little bit of like a black pepper in there, like maybe my own version of a Mavi a little bit, since that's not available. And I love that. My partner, loves that blend. It's a little more earthy, and it doesn't have to be masculine, but I kind of think of it as a little more masculine.
I love it. Another idea so I'm thinking of like people who don't use essential oils, and maybe you want to gift them with something. Maybe they don't have a diffuser, so a room spray is real easy to make, and there's all sorts of beautiful holiday scents you can use. And then one of my team members gifted me a beautiful it could be a tree ornament, or it could go in your car as a car diffuser, but those adorable little felted pom-pom balls, and then you string them up and you can use them as a diffuser. So you drop the oils on, so you could give somebody a cute little felted uh, ornament with a scent, and um, that could be a nice little easy gift. You could do that one with kids. Oh, and another idea to do with kids, want to make this for my niece's kids this year, is aromatherapy Play-Doh. Love to
Ah,
hear if anybody's done that.
Yeah, and Erin sent us a great recipe, which I will share on our Facebook pages too. So look on Essential Wellness or Visionary Leaders, and we will post some of these recipes as well. So if you're just listening to this recording and it's kind of hard to jot down the whole recipe, we will have some for you there. And I want to say about the Play-Doh too, oftentimes people for anxiety and mental health reasons will have like a stress ball, they'll give you, my dentist gives me one of those because I don't know about you, but I don't really love going to the dentist myself. And so that helps. And so I also was just thinking, Play-Doh could be a beautiful thing for adults too, just a tactile way to have something to squeeze or mold or use in that aromatherapy kinesthetic stress release way too. I've never tried it, but I just had that idea and I thought it'd be really beautiful with the aromatherapy. And there's a question from Marilyn. Dr. Rose, what is the brand of gold powder, the mica powder that you use? Do you know?
I am looking in my Amazon history. I will post that when I find it. Yeah.
And then Louise, will you just pull up our holiday catalog for us and share?
yeah. How
it out?
about I mean,
I want to
you
talk
can
more
make
about
a room spray, but I tend to like, I don't know why, but some people travel with diffusers and I forget it, or I just, a lot of the times I never get there. But what I do bring is those the sprays when I'm going to be traveling at someone else's house or in a hotel or anywhere. And it's such a nice thing to be able to eat. So it's kind of the easy, simpler way of like diffusing in a sense. You just have your room spray, and I do the pillows and the sheets and kind of the room and everything, definitely when I'm in a hotel or a motel. And it's a wonderful way of bringing the oils with you and having a simple way to make that room feel much more home-like. And I know they have the Hygge, which is the home. I love that blend.
Yeah, it's the
Scandinavian kind
cozy
of the cozy
comforting
blend. Yeah. So to have a Hygge room spray that you can bring with you traveling or wherever over the holidays is really nice.
Yeah, and then they have the holiday peace room spray, and both of those are awesome stocking stuffers. They're also a really great way to introduce essential oils to people or to see if they like a scent. They're pretty affordable. Let me tell you the price. They're $9.50 wholesale. And I also think these work really great for aromatherapy while we're driving. Um, I think maybe during this political week, I'm using a lot of aromatherapy just to really stay grounded and centered and unattached and just kind of relax into it when everyone else seems a little stressed out. And the holidays we'll talk further about this on a future call this month, but the holidays can be a triggering time. There's people who celebrate holidays, don't have a lot of complex emotions as far as seeing family or friends, or maybe there's some loneliness coming up. Maybe it brings up some of the things that you're seeing on the outer, you're seeing like in the world and on commercials and holiday catalogs, and maybe that isn't what you're experiencing at home, right? And so also just bringing these aromatherapy, like bringing a little spray, when maybe you go to a dinner and there's, I don't have an Uncle George, but Uncle George who might have very different beliefs than you, or maybe there's a person that like, oh, that person triggers me, and maybe I get even stressed out before I even have to go see them, right? That happens to some people. So and then if you're all right yourself, but maybe there's some complex relationships in the environment you're going, what a great way to like wear oils, just give a little spray, you don't even have to say anything, just give a little love of like, oh, that, our holiday joy is so, that one, I don't see a room spray, but you could even put that on. Most people love it. It's such a holiday cinnamon and clove and has that vanilla warming scent. And it's so good for our immune health too. And also just, it feels, cozy to people. Or our holiday piece, which is a gorgeous bouquet of tree medicine, which is going to be grounding. It's going to be just holding up a space for us to be wise, for us to be centered, for us to be in our bodies and in the present moment. So that is a blend that I use all the time. Just used it in my sauna yesterday. It's really gorgeous. If you want to type in the chat, I put a little poll in our Facebook group in Essential Wellness. Also, maybe if you guys want to share, do you have a favorite? Do you like the holiday joy or do you like the holiday peace? Some people say they can't choose. They like them for different reasons. I have to say I love them both, but I think that if I had to choose, my favorite would be the holiday peace. But let me know what you all think. I know that a lot of, again, I don't want to be gender specific, but I know a lot of men seem to really love the holiday joy because it smells kind of like food and cookies and yummy stuff to eat. And of course, as anyone who identifies as a woman, you could love that too, but that has been my experience.
I'm very excited about the two things that have sold out there's 3 Malama items. There's the oil blend of Malama, so it's the specific Hawaiian oils are in it, and the tree oils.
It is. It's so
beautiful.
gorgeous.
So there's the oil blend, but they also came up with a hand cream and like a deep. I think it's going to be very nurturing and deep hand cream for the winter, and the soap. And so the hand cream and the soap have already sold out, but they're coming out with a set of all 3 of them next Monday. They're going to be releasing a couple things, and that's going to be that Malama set. I think it's $55. It's a nice bigger.
It is 55
present.
wholesale.
Yeah, wholesale. I'm definitely going to buy some of those. Those are so, in terms of giving a really lovely gift to some people. I would recommend that item. You can kind of get the collective consciousness about what sells out really quickly. So people are into it.
Well, and the Malama, it is so I haven't got the collection yet. It hasn't been, but I did get the hand cream and I got the soap, and I didn't order the oil because I had stocked up when it came out because I love it so much. I knew it wouldn't be available. So I have a lot of that. And if you haven't tried it, friends, it is so lovely. And it really is. It just reminds me of connection and just getting a warm hug. It just reminds me of like there's a practice where you can hug yourself and comfort yourself, and that's the feeling of Malama to me.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do this call now. I know it's still a little early and we haven't even gotten to Thanksgiving here in the United States, but because a lot of the stuff sells out, right? So we just didn't want you to be disappointed and say, oh, I wanted to get that and it's not available anymore, right? I also stock up, I'll be honest, I'm stocking up on some Blue Lotus because I don't know, doTERRA released that once. I don't have the exact bottle, but there were these little tiny bottles. They released the Blue Lotus in a Mother's Day kit, and I was so excited, and I haven't seen it since then. So they're a little sneaky like that. Like we don't know when it will be back or when it will be available. So if you love that one, definitely stock up.
Actually, one of my absolute favorite blends is the Midnight Forest.
Oh, me too.
And so that's, if you're going to trial the Malama is wonderful and everything, but definitely get at least one, stock up on some Midnight Forest because they
Marilyn. Yeah, Marilyn in the chat is saying that she diffused Malama and Midnight Forest together.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Oh, I'm going to try that today, Marilyn. That sounds so yummy. I'm going to try that in my sauna. And then I also wanted to talk to you guys about, so if you have young kids, or if you are a young kid like me at heart, there is a super cool train diffuser, and you get a small bottle, of 5 milliliter of Stronger, which is, I have to say, I mean, it's hard to have a favorite oil or blend, but Stronger is one of my favorites. The smell to me is absolutely phenomenal. It's wonderful for our immune system. I love it as just a perfume. And so check that out. It's super cute, and doTERRA does all this great job of just having different children's diffusers at different times. My daughter has a whale from the past, but the train is super cute, and it usually has, I haven't looked because I don't have littles anymore, but let's see, they usually in the past have had some sound with them and some different lights. So I could look into this. And this is so cute because the diffuser, the steam is what comes out. So it's like train steam, and then it's diffusing your oils, which I think is really sweet. And then another thing you could make or you can buy is this really cool garland, which we talked a little bit about, I think, before, but this looks like just if you have dryer balls that you use in your dryer with oils on, it's a similar idea. They're just these beautiful, organic looking off-white felt balls that you could adorn your house with or your tree with if you celebrate Christmas. And then you can put your oils on that too. So that's really cool. And then there's also some scents. So these are great gift ideas for people who might not be as familiar with essential oils yet and still love perfumes. And don't know if any of you have had the experience of walking by someone who's wearing a perfume, but it's really intense because of the chemicals in it. I definitely am like that. There's certain chemical smells that I'm really highly sensitive to, and they make me feel a little ill. So this is a great way to introduce, it's a spray bottle. It comes in a really sweet box. It's an amazing gift. There's the Katana, which is a beautiful blend of, of Lang Lang, and then it has that gardenia in it, which I love gardenia, sandalwood and vetiver and patchouli to ground you and have more of that beautiful bass notes, and then some clove. There's also Soul, and I think it's Soul number 3 is how you would say that. And that blend is mandarin, sandalwood, divana, and vanilla. And then there's Majestic Lore, and that has, and you'll be hearing like, oh, we don't have some of those essential oils available individually, or maybe we've had them, but they're limited. So this is a fun way to try things that are not always available to us. And the Majestic Lore, which is new, I have the Katana, which is really lovely. And that one has black spruce. So this sounds right up Josie, your alley, and right up my alley. All the tree lovers, all the forest lovers.
Yeah, it's the forest blend.
The city dwellers who maybe want to be in the forest, but have to sometimes be on Zoom, It's black spruce, balsam fir, Nakuda, hinoki, and hinokis are Japanese cypress that is used in many Japanese ceremonies. Phenomenal, phenomenal smell. And I think that's the blend. It says, listen to this: Majestic Lore, personal aroma, surround your senses with the rich fragrance of lush wooded forests, snow-capped mountain peaks, and a brisk winter fog. Oh, and that sounds like a good winter to me.
And can I share? This is the little suitcase that you can get for the holiday item.
Oh, neat.
And it's small. It's not really big, and you could stick this in your suitcase, but it opens up and it holds, I believe, 15. You can't see it through this. I'm sorry, but it'll hold 15 ml bottles. It'll hold rollerball bottles. It has a little pouch up here, and I think it's only like $16. I mean, what a beautiful gift to give somebody with an oil in there as for whatever, So I was really excited. It's kind of a purpley. It looks blue in this Zoom, but it's actually kind of a purple color.
It's a super cute one. I've seen them released through the years, and that one is really charming.
I have actually bought other ones that they've had. The other one, I think last year or the year before, was more square. This is kind of oblong, which is kind of nice. So anyway, how cool is that to walk into a class hearing your
Or just like even tucking that in your car, or when you travel, like that's a amount that you could take and tuck in your luggage. That's totally doable, because I never travel without my oil. So if you're doing any holiday travel to visit family or friends, Virginia says, I love my case, already filled it. Type into the chat too, like if you're traveling, or if, you know, what oils do you choose to put in there? Like, what are your go-tos that you just can't live without? I think we all have our ones where I'm like, I'm at a loss if I never have, you know, these oils with us. And that is a beautiful testimony of like the gifts that these plants bring us, right? I mean, I've had that experience so many times, especially with lavender, just like, wow, you're saving my life right now, lavender, you know, literally, like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, I'm just looking at the chat. Does anybody else want to share one of their favorite DIY ideas? I know bath bombs or shower cubes are another gift idea that you can make. And what I do when I'm looking for recipes is I'm asking Louise, because we want to work on a project, and I'm like, I know you've done this before, so do you have some good recipes? But I also just Google them, and there's so many beautiful ideas on the web. You know, you can kind of look at your ingredients, and so I'll just Google it and then say, oh yeah, this looks, usually my choices, like this has the most natural ingredients, or looks more like my style. And then you get really beautiful photos too of like, oh, look how they styled that or did that, or look at the container that they have.
Yeah, I like I like little containers, so sometimes I start with the container and then figure out what to put in it.
That's what I have done, and I got these beautiful containers like a while ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, now that I have the containers, now I have to fill them. Bath salts is another beautiful holiday gift idea with a really neat container, so that's easy to make.
Some people are into aromatherapy diffusing jewelry. So if you buy beads that are not glazed, unglazed beads, you can drop the oils right on there. So you could bead a little bracelet, a necklace, probably not, I guess you could diffuse on your earrings. But those are also fun projects to do with kids as gifts for their friends or teachers. Hot chocolate mix with peppermint oil and put in a pretty mason jar. Cover the lid with holiday fabric and a ribbon. Brilliant. Love it.
Love that. I got that gift one year and it was so sweet. And then my daughter made it with her stepmom. So it's like a really, you know, some of these things are fun to do with kids or family members. And then there's a few other things in the gift catalog. The doTERRA dark chocolate, and I really love that they are really committed to high quality ingredients. They're dark chocolate mini bars, and it's really cool because they're keto friendly and sugar free and gluten free. And then they have wild orange, freeze dried raspberries, and finely chopped almonds. So I love the commitment of getting a bit of a holiday treat without getting too much sugar, right? A lot of us are trying to stay away from sugar. And then another thing we haven't talked about, I know we mentioned it, is the Midnight Forest. So we talked about that blend, but there is also a gift set that will be, and this one I think is released a little bit later. I think this one's coming out in December, but just FYI, there's a body wash and aftershave, the whole gift set, which would be the aftershave, the body wash, and then the oil blend too. And that was another one that I definitely stocked up on when Midnight Forest was released, because it is so delicious. And that one is a blend of Siberian fir, cypress, juniper berry, black spruce, wild orange, and frankincense. So it's got that beautiful citrus with those gorgeous tree oils. And today I'm actually diffusing juniper berry and green mandarin and black spruce, and it's a really nice combination. So Louise and I was working with juniper berry lately, and I just love that oil, bringing that oil in this time of year. It feels really just good for the darkness, for the upcoming solstice, for winter months.
You know, mentioning the chocolates reminded me one year I made truffles, which if you know, it sounds really like we have to have so many skills to make truffles. It's not really true. It's pretty easy. You just melt the ingredients, let them cool, and then roll them in little balls. And so I melted the chocolate and cream and whatever else was in there. And then I separated it into 4 different bowls for different, and then I added essential oils to the different bowls. And so easy. I think I did a citrus one, frankincense and chocolate is delicious, cardamom, ginger, cinnamon. And then, you know, you can find a cute little container, or what I did that year was my niece and I folded little origami boxes. And so we had these little handmade origami boxes that had the beautiful little chocolates inside. You could even sprinkle a little edible gold dust on them if you want. And that is a nice, easy culinary way to use the oils too.
And such a beautiful idea to bring, you know, if you're coming to someone's home and you're wanting something to bring that's unique, and especially with the gold, that just takes it up a level, you know. And then Marilyn said, and these are great ideas too, could make seasoned salts. I love that. Sugars, oils. With the oils, sugar and salt scrubs are phenomenal with our fractionated coconut oil. And then we're almost at time, and we have not even talked about mocktails. So we're going to have to bring those in on another call. Mocktails or cocktails, whatever your preference is. I'm more of a mocktail person. So that's really fun too. It's just some really beautiful, we've talked about more hot beverages, but I'll have to share too. I drink a lot of matcha, and so you can use matcha and the oils together. It's gorgeous. So we'll share some recipes on one of our calls coming up too with mocktail ideas.
Florence you're still muted, Florence.
Oh, I am muted. Yeah.
There you go.
Going back to what Dr. Josie was saying about the digestive, the emotions, and the immune, I was thinking about how fortunate we are to have the MetaPower line. So we can, you know, I feel like there's been years that I would not do any baking or special treats and stuff like that because I just wanted to stay away from them. Mm-hmm. And I feel fortunate enough now, I have that extra non-craving desire to eat what I'm making. So I think when we're making it, if it's starting to come up to the gum, take the soft gels. It encompasses the whole line, not just the Advantage. So I'm so grateful that we have that as something that we can fall back to and give us that, you know, that so we don't mess up our body systems that are working so hard that we're not craving all that stuff. And so that's part of it.
Thank you for pointing that out. It's so true. And I personally have gotten pretty ill often after the holidays because of the amount of sugar that doesn't do so well in my body, but I like it. You know, I'm a sweets lover, I'll have to admit. So I don't eat gluten anymore, but I used to eat a lot of gluten and a lot of sugar, which really causes, as we know, a lot of inflammation. And it took me a while to really start putting it together. Like, wow, I'm having huge flare-ups, brain fog, fatigue, pain after the holidays or around the holidays because of all of the goodies. So exactly, having these tools where we're not sitting there, because there would be times I'm like, oh, I shouldn't eat that, but they're my grandma's cookie recipe, you know. But I think, you know, really having the gum, I'm loving the gum, and I'm not even a gum chewer, but yeah, or the MetaPower in our water, however you fancy, is going to be so helpful. And we'll dive a little more into that with our future calls about just our physical wellness during the holidays. And what a great idea too. We didn't mention the beadlets, but that has been a really fun stocking stuffer and gift idea. I've given people in the holidays the peppermint, the On Guard. Now we have the MetaPower, or the like the cough
Supermint.
drops, like the ginger drops, and we have, oh yeah, and then we have super mint. How could I forget super mint? And those are really fun because they're pretty affordable and they're unique. Like people are like, whoa, what are these? These are super cool. And so, and the drops too are great stocking stuffers and just a way to, you know, help promote people's wellness during the season too. And we're getting at time, but this has been such a fun call. Does anyone have any last minute ideas or questions or anything they want to contribute? I can look at our Facebook. I'll be honest, I got distracted and didn't check on that. So let me go there real quick and make sure there's no comments on Facebook of anyone we're missing.
I know. I don't even know how to do that beyond this Zoom and then go. I guess I could do it on the phone.
I'm doing it on the phone because
Sure.
I think if I was to do it on the computer, you guys would all get to see me doing it on the computer, but the phone is working. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not seeing anything from Essential Wellness. Yeah, I don't think we have any ideas or comments there. So we're good.
Well, I would just like to throw out a challenge that if you make any cool DIY things in the next few weeks, share it with us. Show us what you
Please
do.
show us. Yeah. And my daughter's older now. And if you have any kids in your family, post pictures of you and your kids doing fun stuff too. I love seeing those, or family members. And then while we're saying goodbye, I just want to remind and invite everyone looking down, because I want to get the information for you, that we have a social selling challenge coming up with a special guest. That's going to be Arin Fugate. Is not able to join us today. She had an appointment, but she will be teaching that. It's going to be on Zoom on November 9th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And I'm not the best names person, so let me get the name of who she's presenting with.
Putting the link
That's
in
okay.
the thing. Yeah.
And it is with Emmy Cornwell. And she's going to be educating about social selling, and she's going to be covering Instagram. And so if anyone's interested in getting more support, I am definitely on social media, but still really getting some really great tips and learning, because this still feels like such a new idea for me, even though I've been doing it for years. Like the whole social media aspect is a big one. And so if you want support there, we have phenomenal resources. We did a call already that has been recorded that really talks about Facebook and ideas of getting over blocks, how to connect with people, how to communicate with people authentically, which is really important to me. That's the approach that I have to take, because I am such a connector. And so please join us in that call. I'm really excited to get some Instagram education too. So we will be there this coming
Wednesday at 4.
Hey.
So yeah,
Thank you.
it's this Wednesday. So today's the 9th, November 9th at 4 p.m. Pacific time on Facebook. And I put in the chat, the link, and it's part of the 7-day challenge that it's wonderful that Arin has been working with us with and helping people to get more comfortable with sharing. And so she's been talking mostly about Facebook. And so she's bringing in her friend Emmy to help more with Instagram.
Yeah. And Florence, you shared a testimonial about MetaPower, and it was really inspirational. So thank you for that, because I know that a lot of us are having really profound effects with MetaPower. And that's what this program is. You could use it for other avenues as well, but it is focusing right now on MetaPower. So it's really great. So we are at the hour. We are really excited to be with you again next week. Same time, same place, Mondays, 10 a.m. Pacific time. All of our calls are recorded. If you're listening to this in the recording, thank you for joining us. And yes, I can't wait to collaborate with recipes and ideas and gift ideas this week. So please share them. And goodbye, everyone. Thank you for your contributions.
Bye, everyone.